Have you been wondering what the best places to live in near Seattle are? Well, in today's video, I'm going to talk about just that, so stay tuned. Welcome to another video, guys. I'm Bryce Greenleaf, a real estate agent here in the greater Seattle area. And I make videos all about living in Seattle, moving to Seattle and the greater Seattle area, and the local real estate. So if this is one of your first times tuning into my videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you get notified every time that I make a new video. I love helping out with people that are moving to this area or already live in this area and are looking to find that next home and are looking to buy some real estate or sell some real estate. So feel free to contact me at my number below if there is anything I can do to help, or if you just have any questions about living in or moving to the Seattle area. So like I said, today we're going to talk about where the best places to live in the greater Seattle area are. So if you're moving here, you can get a good idea of some places you should be looking in. Now, as I'm sure you know, you can't just answer this question with one specific city that is the best place to move to, because it just depends on your lifestyle, what you're looking for, what you want, and what you need out of a location. So there are really four main categories I'm going to go over here to try and cover what spot may be best for your situation. So the first one, and this is kind of the biggest one, especially with people moving here, and that's home prices. As you know, home prices here are higher than the national average. We have very expensive home prices here. We're still cheaper than some of the other main tech hubs like San Francisco and New York, but our home prices are pretty high here. So you don't have to live right in the Seattle area. The median home price in Seattle is in the mid 700,000s for a single family home. So there are many options outside of Seattle. So if home prices are a big deal for you and you really need to live somewhere a little bit more affordable, you can look at some places, go further north, look at places like Marysville, Arlington, even the east side, and go to Monroe. Or you can go down south at places like Kent, Tacoma, and Puyallup. Those are going to be some much more affordable places to live, but you're still relatively close to Seattle. It's still a short mileage distance into Seattle. Commute times, of course, will vary on traffic, but you're still close enough to Seattle. And if you are thinking about moving to this area, make sure you talk to a local real estate agent that can help give you some good ideas of some homes that you can look at, some different neighborhoods that'll fit your budget and kind of fit what you're looking for. I made a video addressing the cheapest suburbs in Seattle, so make sure you check it out right up here. Feel free to give that one a watch, and if you've got any questions on what suburb might be best for you in terms of home prices, definitely reach out to me and let me know. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. All right, so category number two, and I mentioned it briefly before, and that is commute times. So even though you may be living close to Seattle, let's say within 15 miles of Seattle, that doesn't mean your commute time is going to be short, because you are pretty close to that. That 15-mile commute could take up to an hour for you to actually get into Seattle. So commute time is really important depending on where you're working. If you're working right into Seattle, you're going to want to be relatively close, unless you're okay spending a good portion of your day in your car, a couple hours in total daily commute time. Otherwise, you want to make sure you're in a place that's relatively close to Seattle if you're commuting into that area. There's a good app that you can use to check out commute times. Go to Waze, download it from the App Store. You can plug in your home address or whatever city you're looking at, and you can plug in the work address, and you can choose a time of day that you would be making that commute, and it'll show you what the average commute time is for that day and time. This will help give you a good idea of if that location that you're looking to live in is realistic for where you work, and if that commute is going to be doable for you every day. All right, so category number three is school districts, and for some of you, this might not be a consideration because you may not have kids and may not have planned to have kids down the road, but for the rest of you that do have kids or plan to have kids, school districts is likely going to be very important to you. I have made a video specifically on the top 10 school districts in the greater Seattle area. You can check out that video right up here, and it gives you a good breakdown of what the best districts are. But just in summary, if you are considering and you really want a really good school district, some of the best places to be for that will be on the east side, so the east side of Lake Washington. So we're talking about places like Bothell, Kirkland, Redmond, Bellevue, Issaquah, and Sammamish. There are great school districts over on that side. Not to say school districts in other places are not good, but those very often rank at the top end of the school districts in Washington state. Now, you may not need one of those top end school districts, but you may want to have at least a decent school district. I personally personally grew up in the Edmonds School District. It's not at the top end, it's not one of the top 10, but it is a pretty decent school district to still be in if you made that choice. That covers cities like Edmonds, Mount Lake Terrace, and Linwood. You'll also be able to get a lot more bang for your buck in those 3 cities versus if you went to the east side where those very top school districts are. All right, and category number 4 here I'm gonna talk about is your hobbies. What do you enjoy doing? If you like the nightlife, you wanna go out to bars, you wanna party, you wanna go to clubs, you wanna spend a lot of time around people and in those environments, one of the bigger cities might be a good consideration for you. Seattle, Kirkland, or Bellevue, they have good nightlife opportunities there. So those might be your best considerations if that's something that's really, really important to you. Of course, you're gonna pay a higher premium to live in those areas, but if that's more important to you than the specific home price, then that might be a good option. If you're more of an outdoorsy person, it might be worth going to the east side. I'm talking about places like Issaquah, Sammamish, Snoqualmie, even Monroe. This gives you much quicker access to get over to the mountain passes if you love hiking, mountain biking, skiing, snowboarding, whatever the case is, whatever you like to do outdoors, those would be some good spots to be. So you really want to consider what your hobbies are and what you're going to enjoy doing. Not to say you can't live all the way up north, you know, in Marysville or Arlington and not be able to go to the mountain passes, enjoy those outdoor activities. You're just going to have a little bit longer of a drive to get there. So that's where you weigh the home prices versus the hobbies and location to figure out what the most important thing is to you. So you're very likely not going to get 100% of what you want, and that's the case for probably just about anywhere in the country. You're going to have to make a little bit of sacrifice in terms of where you're living. You may be able to get 80 to 90% of what you want. You just got to weigh what your top priorities are and then start looking at locations based on those priorities. Like I said, it's really important to talk to a real estate agent in the area that you're looking. That way you can get a good feel for if this specific area is right for you, or if that real estate agent can guide you into some other areas that would fit what you're looking for a little bit better. So if you need somebody to help you out, feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, my number here is at the bottom of the screen. Again, you can text or call me, or you can send me an email as well. All my info is in the description. I'd be more than happy to just answer your questions about moving to and living in this area or about the local real estate. Well, thanks for tuning into this one, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.